Hey, what's this? Is this the new Irix 8? Irix just came up with a 150 T3.0 CINE lens. But wait, you say, they already have a 150 T3.0 CINE lens. Well, they do, but listening to customer feedback, they came up with a new version that is more optimized for infinity focusing. I know what you all want. We love the Irix 11mm, 21, and the 45. And Irix coming up with a second-gen 150mm lens does not help to fill that gap. We were curious ourselves and we asked Irix, and they told us that in 2023, this will be the year when the gap closes, so stay tuned. Till then, let's take a deeper look at the 150 lens, what it's good for, and why you'd want it in your toolbox. Like the rest of the Irix CINE line, this lens is super solid. You're probably tired from hearing this, but this lens is built like a tank, and it weighs like a lot of glass too, about 1.2 kilograms. Just like the other Irix lenses we reviewed, the mechanics of this lens just feel good. It even has a flat lens cap. Yay! I really like the attention to detail that Irix puts on their lenses. Of course, it has the same 0.8 gear pitch for follow focus motors, and they introduced a clever ring. This one makes sure that your follow focus gears never get stuck against the lens. The distance inscription is super clear and it shows on both sides, so you can read the lenses no matter the orientation. And according to Irix, it is super duper sealed for harsh weather. Sadly, it's too sunny to test it here. That said, let's jump into the optics. There are some things that this lens does incredibly well and some things that it struggles with. Let's start with the awesomeness. At 150mm, wide open, you get a pretty sharp lens. It looks amazing on people, sharp on the face and a creamy smooth bokeh on the back. And you get that same creamy bokeh as long as the lens stays fully open. Here it is in a more controlled environment. I mean, look at those creamy circles. Being such a long lens that stops so wide makes it really easy to play high defense. I just love how long the pull transitions are, and they pull beautifully. It is also pretty much distortion free. If you're looking for another reason to buy this lens, check out the flare. It has a ton of character and it punches well above its weight. The last piece of fun comes when you consider the focus distance. Irix did away with the macro feature of this lens to get better at infinity focus, but it still focuses pretty darn close, about 2 feet. If you consider all of those, you're getting a sweet lens for a very fair price, about $1,200 at the time of this recording. But there are also a few things to note. None of them are a deal breaker for me, but it's stuff you want to be aware of and know how to handle the lens. While the lens is sharp, it's not RESP sharp. 100% usable, just a bit soft. But then when you consider that the REXP is upward of $32,000, you can easily forgive this. Same goes for chromatic aberration. You get some when shooting in harsh contrast, but at the end there are trade-offs when you design the lens. If you want to keep the size, weight and price at an affordable place, you may have to optimize the lens for specific uses. I have no hard feelings for Irix for making those design decisions. My only real issue with the lens comes to the shape of bokeh on certain f-stops. It is absolutely gorgeous fully open and looks great even when fully stops down. But if you're at minimum focus distance and are at about T5, you get a weird bokeh. You can see for yourself and decide if the jagged edges thing really bugs you. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. It definitely does not cancel out what this lens does very well. So here we are. For $1,200, you are getting a tank of a lens. If you're shooting cinematic portraits, you're in for a treat. It's not an RE, but you're also not paying RE dollars. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, the share button, just hit all the buttons on the screen. I'm Udi Tirosh with DIYPhotography.net, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.